Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your March Soul session. I'm Princess India. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever. If you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings, in which we look at the energies that you guys may encounter for the month of March and give you any guidance or clarity or insights or advice that could help you with challenges that you may face this month. So, as you've heard me say in every single reading before this one, well, I mean, up to Libra, I woke up this morning and I just felt like I wanted to do the spread differently than I usually do. So, I'm doing more of like a free form kind of spread. So if you see anything different, that's what it is. And the deck that I'm using is the After Tarot. And those of you who've been with me for some time know that I don't read this deck in the reverse because the deck is created to already be in the reverse. So if you see me turning cards over, don't freak out or anything. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys reading. Whoa. And the first card out we have, okay, is the Six of Wands. So coming into March from February, Aquarius, it's looking like you guys are, there's a derogatory meaning to this, but know that I mean it in the best interest. It's being on your high horse, you know what I'm saying? But I don't mean that in like an egoic sense, but it's more or less feeling victorious. So more or less, this is speaking to some accomplishment that you guys okay, have encountered. I'm taking the ones that are face up. Some accomplishment that you guys have encountered in the month of February. So it's more or less riding that wave of those good vibes into March. Then we have the Three of Cups and then the Empress. And for some reason, my attention is being brought to the fact that both of those are threes. That's interesting. If I were to look at that metaphysically, you know what I'm saying? It's more or less in a spiritual sense as well as in a 3D sense. And I say that because the Three of Cups is a minor arcana card and the Empress is a major arcana card that keeps showing up in people's readings. But it more or less would be saying that on two levels. So it's more or less you guys, I look at it as like a proverbial, egg being cracked open, if you will. So in a 3D sense, it's more or less you guys being reborn in a certain level, which is cause to celebrate. And energetically speaking, like in an ethereal sense, your higher self sense, it's a rebirth of sense and one that brings abundance. Then we have the Fool card that came out. So that speaks of new beginnings. So what this would say to me is whatever victory that you guys had in the month of February, or if it was like we're still in the beginning of March. So, I mean, if it was in the first couple of days of March, I really do feel that this is towards the latter end of February. Geez. Aquarius, I think y'all about to steal Taurus's wave. Because I said that Taurus had the best reading so far. Contingent upon if someone else had the best one, and you guys are headed in that direction. So anywho, I feel that the positive thing or the victory that you guys had in the latter part of February coming into March is cause for celebration. It is a statement or a testament of the abundance that you guys have reached in a spiritual sense. So if we were to go back to our egg reference and to answer, the question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? It would seem that the egg came first, right? Because it feels like a rebirth on all levels. It's like this abundance started in the spiritual sense. It's you guys aligning with a sense of higher consciousness or a new perspective of yourself, if you will, or you guys made the decision to align with a consciousness of abundance. So like manifestation work, laws of attraction, all that good stuff. Or just simply deciding to focus more on the positive as opposed to the negative. And I feel that doing that in a spiritual sense is what caused it to manifest externally. So with the Fool card being here, we're talking about a new beginning for you guys. So this is literally like how I say rebirth. This is literally like a restart or a fresh start for you guys. And then we have the Sun card, which is the best card in the friggin' deck. You know what I'm saying? So with that falling underneath the Three of Cups, it's more or less you guys have manifested something that's near and dear to your heart. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are going in the direction of, or getting notoriety for, being recognized for something that is very much intertwined with your authentic self. So that's beautiful. Congratulations on that. Okay. I was trying to see if a card turned over. I mean, overall, this is looking hella good. Okay, then we have the Five of Swords, about to say wands, and then we have the Three of Wands. And there's a lot of repeater cards I've noticed. This came out in the same position for Libra, and of course the Empress energy is Libran energy and Taurus energy. The Sun card is Leo energy, and the Fool card is Aries energy. I would suggest to, if you have that in your chart, to go look at those soul sessions. If you don't, I still would look at them anyway. Specifically Libra too, because in all honesty, what this kind of feels like to me, if I were to look at what came up in Libra's energy, especially with this Three of Wands being here, what I'm seeing for you guys, Aquarius, would kind of be almost like the, and this is all hypothetical, you know what I'm saying? Or metaphorically, really. It's almost like what I'm seeing for Aquarius would be the byproduct of what I talked about in Libra's reading, if that's making sense. But with this Five of Swords here, what I feel here is a sense of inner conflict, and this would be going towards the end of I'm about to say February. This would be going towards the end of March. And the reason for that is it's almost like a backstep and waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's kind of like stuff is going so well, right? Towards the end of the month, it's almost like you're like, hold on, wait a minute, stuff is going too well. It's like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop now. It's like, what's gonna go wrong? I have to forewarn you to not fall into that, because I feel it's almost like old fears and stuff are kind of starting to creep back up. Because, dude, like when I tell you how positive all of these cards are, and specifically, if you're not used to this much good stuff happening consecutively, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like, and I said this, I believe, I can't remember if it was Libra or if it was someone after them, but I talked about like tests, and I use air quotations because I don't believe that tests are really tests in a spiritual sense. And I went on this whole little spiel of how it is that Spirit has no reason to test us, because Spirit knows all there is to possibly know about who we are and where we at this moment. So if you're being tested, the test is not to show Spirit something about you. It's to show something about you to you that you weren't aware was there. And that's how I'm kind of looking at this Five of Swords here. It's more or less all of these things going good, these little, you know, low vibrational thoughts creep in, and it's like, oh, Aquarius, do you really think stuff is going so good for you? You know what I'm saying? And it's more or less a choice that you make to either succumb to those and be like, oh my gosh, you're right. Things have been going really well for me. It's like the other shoe must drop, because it always does. That's what my past says, right? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to say, like, bump that? I'm going back to what it is that you did that got you here in the first place, which was focusing on the positive or any manifestation that you guys may be doing. So with this Three of Wands here, this is more or less, and it's the same vibe that I felt when it came out before. It's like waiting for a sign or something like that. But with it being next to this Five of Swords, I feel, and you have to watch for this, because if you guys have been doing law of attraction or any kind of manifestation or intentions or whatever the case may be, just like you can intend positive things and positive things can happen, you can also intend negative things and negative things can happen. So you want to be conscious of what energy you're pulling in. So this card came out before, and I looked at it as a person who was waiting for a sign. And the way that I'm seeing it for you guys, Aquarius, is almost like waiting for a sign for this L or this loss or this conflict or this other shoe to drop, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is if you stand fervently in this energy of like stuff has been going so good, every time stuff goes good for me, something bad happens, that within itself is a statement of what would happen, you know? So if these little thoughts kind of creep up to cause fear or to provoke fear in you, you know what I'm saying? Making you want to fall back into the habit that you clearly broke out of if you didn't manifested all this doggone abundance into your life. Don't allow yourself to succumb to the thoughts of fear. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever we focus on, whatever we feed our energy into is what's going to grow. So the thing that I would say is to, if when this happens, you know, if those thoughts creep up, it's like push them out, go back to focusing on what it is that you were focusing on, and, you know, step aside from the fear and stay fixated on whatever the end goal is that you guys have that started to draw in this abundance. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll end up proving yourself right. And I feel that that's something that has happened with you guys a lot. It's this belief that you have that good things don't last long and they're always followed by negativity. Now, if we were speaking the higher sense of seasons of life, we do have seasons of gain, we do have seasons of loss, but I feel like this is fairly new for you guys. And I don't feel that this is something that's supposed to matriculate into, bam, end of February, you get a blessing, you get to have it for the first week of March, and then all of a sudden it gets taken away. I don't feel that that's the case at all, because with the Fool being here, this is speaking to an entirely new cycle. So I feel what the message is here, Aquarius, is letting you know, yes, you are in a new energetic cycle. Yes, the work that you've been putting into manifesting abundance in your life has worked, but whether it's kept up to this point moving forward, you know what I'm saying? And I just got another message about that. Whether it's kept up moving forward is entirely up to you and you maintaining the stance that you took to get yourself here in the first place. Now, the other message with this too is, with this Five of Swords, if this isn't just, you know, like negative thoughts that are coming in, this may come in the form of like opposition, meaning you're riding the wave of all of these good vibes, and all of a sudden, like mid-month, like somewhere around 13th to the 15th, there's some sort of like hiccup that happens, where you gotta watch that too, because if y'all are intention setters, the new moon in Pisces is on the 13th of this month, right? Now, when we talk about, like, those of you who are members and stuff, y'all know what Lunafet, like for new moons, we're setting intentions. So we're planting seeds of what it is that we want to sprout moving forward, right? So what you want to keep in mind is, if there's some sort of opposition that comes in from another person, or just some kind of like conflict, hiccup, or whatever that happens around that time, you want to be careful, because just like I said, how you could undo what you did would be around that time using that energy that's supposed to be used for positive intentions to set your own negative intentions. You feel what I'm saying? So it's almost like, if it doesn't, so it's two different manifestations of this I'm seeing, is what I'm explaining. There's some people where it's getting mobbed by fears and negative thoughts. Others of you, it's a minor hiccup that's not even really a big deal, that kind of comes and like, you know, to your little positive wave that you're riding. And that still comes in the form of that quote unquote test. Like, are you really ready to be a true manifester, or are you going to let what seems to be a block or seems to be opposition to make you fall back into, see, I knew this wasn't going to last long. I knew this wasn't going to work out for me. It's like, that's really the challenge. That's the crossroads that you guys come to. So again, just like I said, for the first group of people, the important thing is to keep your mind set on what it is that you were focused on. What you did to get to where you are now, keep that up. Don't allow dark distractions to trip you up, my friend. So Aquarius, that's what I have for you. I mean, it's really positive and good, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going over to my network to do you guys extended. We're going to play out the rest of these cards, and we got an oracle for y'all and all that good stuff to see what else is going on. So if you're about that life, my friend, follow me on over there. If not, I still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later.